But now to Anne's exclusive interview with a woman everyone wants to hear from, Nadya Suleman. Anne is in Los Angeles with more on that. Anne, congratulations and good morning.
Hey, Matt, good morning to you. Well, after all the speculation about her motives for having octuplets, Nadya Suleman talked to us to set the record straight. She told us that from an early age, she wanted a big family to make up for the isolation she felt from being an only child in what she called a dysfunctional family, and that the pregnancies are a response to her deep need to connect. She also defended herself against criticism, which have included death threats, saying that she meant to have 7 children, not 14, and that she wonders if she's being so harshly judged because she chose to become a single mother. People feel, this woman is being completely irresponsible and selfish to bring these children in the world.
All I have to say
without a clear source of income and enough help to raise them.
I know I'll be able to afford them when I'm done with my schooling. If I were just sitting down, watching TV, and not being as determined as I am to succeed and provide a better future for my children, I believe that would be considered, to a certain degree, selfish.
So the world outside is saying, what are you doing?
I'm providing myself to my children. I'm loving them unconditionally, accepting them unconditionally. Everything I do, I'll stop my life for them and be present with them and hold them and be with them. And how many parents do that? I'm sure there are many that do, but many don't. And that's unfortunate. And that is selfish.
Did you use the same fertility specialist for all of your pregnancies?
Yes.
So your fertility specialist knew that you already had 6 children?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How many embryos were you implanted with?
The same as with the others, 6.
Did he explain to you the risks of a multiple birth?
With all of them. Absolutely, with all of them.
You didn't want just 1 or 2 embryos?
Of course not. I wanted them all transferred. Those are my children. And that's what was available, and I used them. So I took a risk. It's a gamble. It always is. And a lot of couples, usually it's couples, do undergo this procedure, and it's not as controversial because they're couples, so it's more acceptable to society. For me, I feel as though I've been under the microscope because I've chosen this unconventional kind of life. I didn't intend on it being unconventional, it turned out to be. All I wanted was children. I wanted to be a mom. That's all I ever wanted in my life. I love my children.
And you knew that you were not going to selectively reduce.
Oh, no. Sometimes when we have that dream and that passion, and we take risks. And I did, and it turned out perfectly.
She said the fertility specialist implanted 6 embryos, 2 of which resulted in twins, and that's about the same number as you just heard in all of her pregnancies because of her specific fertility challenges. According to public documents released on Thursday, Suleman has received $165,000 in compensation after she was injured during a riot at a psychiatric hospital where she once worked. And those documents say that she suffered spinal damage and endured years of depression until she realized her dream of becoming a mother. She says she's never been on welfare and refuses to do so now, Matt and Meredith, adding that it's hard for her to accept any kind of help. She believes that she will find a way to get by with the help of her family and her friends and her church. Now back to you.
Well, what do we know about the donors, the father? What are the feelings there, Anne?
A very good question. She confirmed to us, Matt and Meredith, that the same donor is the biological father to all 14 of her children. This person she describes as a friend, and that he is overwhelmed at news of the octuplets' birth, but that she's hoping that he will be in their lives when he's ready.
We saw the wristbands on her hand, hers and then the 8 babies. Has she been able to hold her children at this point?
She has been able to hold them. In fact, she makes a very specific point to do so. About 45 minutes each. Imagine 45 minutes for each of 8 babies. But she's doing that because it's known that this helps the babies. It helps fosters growth, and especially for the smallest one, born at 1.5 pounds. She specifically is holding that baby the longest.
And can I just go back to the financial side of this for a second? She says that when she's finished her schooling, she knows she'll be able to support them, but in the near term, immediately, how are these children going to be cared for in terms of the financial cost that it will take?
She's trying to figure that out. I think it's fair to say that it's all hit her. She's trying to figure out, she's worried about how she's going to be able to pay for all of it. But she believes that even though it's difficult to accept help, that her family and her friends and her church will step up. But in the fall, she actually plans to go back to college, where she is pursuing a master's degree in counseling, and she's hoping that with student loans that will help her in that way. And there also is a daycare center there that she's hoping to use. So she's trying to figure it out, Matt and Meredith, and this is not going to be an easy job. She's going to really have a lot to struggle with caring for all of these children.
Especially being a single mom, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and once again, congratulations. It's fascinating. We can't wait to hear more, and we're going to do that Monday here on Today. We'll have Nadya Suleman's full story and show you her 8 babies for the very first time. Then on Tuesday, a special Dateline. How are her other 6 children feeling about their new brothers and sisters? We're going to hear from them Tuesday on Dateline. That's at 10, 9 Eastern, or 9 Central Time here on NBC.
Fascinating stuff.